calf strains, knee pain, shin splints. These are all some of the most common running injuries there are. And so today I'm going to show you some of the exercises to deal with those injuries, along with some very important additional information that can help you throughout the entire healing and recovery process. To make sure I'm giving you the very best information out there, I've teamed up with a physical therapist at Exakt Health. Okay, let's get rid of those injuries. The first common running injury we're going to talk about are calf strains. As I said, I got help from physical therapists at Exakt Health for this one, and so a lot of the following information will be coming from them. So, a calf strain or tear can affect either the gastrocnemius or soleus or both. It happens when you overload the muscles either through a forceful contraction, like sprinting or jumping, or by suddenly overstretching it. The injury can vary in severity from a minor muscle pull or strain, grade 1, where you only tear a few muscle fibers, to a complete muscle tear, grade 3, where you tear 80% or more of the muscle fibers. So there are a variety of possible reasons why this happened. I'm just going to go over a few of them. Tight muscles are often blamed for causing a strain, but weak calf muscles or overtraining is actually the major causes for calf strains. Some of the most common causes reported in the research for calf strains include overtraining, fatigue. You're much more likely to tear a muscle at the end of a hard running or training session when your muscles are tired. It could be a sudden increase in running. Weak calf muscles could definitely be a possibility. A previous calf strain predisposes you to straining your calf again, and reduced strength and control in the muscles of the lower back and around the core can also cause problems. Then, of course, there's also just not warming up properly. So the exercises I'm about to show are part 3 of Exakt Health's plan, which is to restore base function. And so again, your calf should already be fairly healed to do these exercises. This workout contains isolated calf muscle exercises as well as compound movements that strengthen the other muscle groups that support your calf when you run. Okay, you're going to start building that calf strength back up with a variety of different calf exercises, and these different calf exercises are going to target different muscle groups. So starting off with bent knees, you just want to warm up with both feet on the ground, and then once you feel warmed up enough, then you want to progress just doing single leg bent knees. So you want to bend the knee of your supporting leg, and it should remain bent throughout the exercise. And also at this stage, it's probably best to leave your shoes on. And then you want to lift up on your toes, keeping your supporting leg's knee bent. Then one of the keys with this exercise is you want to slowly lower back down until your heel touches the floor. It should take about 3 seconds from when you're at the top of the calf raise to you're back down on the ground. And then as soon as your foot hits the ground, you want to immediately lift back up on your toes. If you are wondering why you're supposed to slowly lower down, it's because research has shown that your calves and Achilles tendons benefit more from this exercise when you slow it down and force them to work in a very controlled way. Okay, the next exercise is a high bridge. And if you're wondering why this is part of a calf strain routine, it's because sometimes when other muscles aren't doing their job, the calf has to take on more work than it's really supposed to. And so, if something like your glutes aren't doing their fair share of the work, your calves are going to take that up and put a lot more stress on it. And your glutes should really be taking up a lot of the work as you're running. So that's why when you treat a lot of different injuries, you have to look at the big picture and sometimes do exercises that seem unrelated to the actual injury, but are actually very related in the ways I just explained. Okay, high bridge. So when you do this, you want to activate your core muscles and keep them tense throughout the exercise. Then you want to lift up your bottom into the air so that your body forms a straight line. Make sure that your pelvis is level. Slowly lower your bottom down to the floor and repeat. Your aim is to do 10 repetitions, but don't force it. If you find it hard, do what you can and just add a few reps as you get stronger. Okay, on to the single leg raises, but again, you want to warm up with both legs. As I was saying earlier, you want to really work your calves in different positions, because you want to work both your soleus and your gastroc muscles. So this is targeting a different area of your calf. So single leg raises, hold on to something for stability, and that way you're not training stability. You really just want to focus on the calf strength here. And then you of course want to lift one leg off the step. And this is important to note. Your knee of your supporting leg should remain straight throughout this exercise. I know that comes with the exercise name, but it's really easy to stop thinking of that when you're actually doing the exercise. So just check in with yourself and make sure you're keeping that leg straight. Then lift up on your toes. Then again, slowly lower down until your heel drops below the level of the step. It should take you nearly 3 seconds to lower down. Then don't hang there. Immediately lift back up on your toes. Again, you're doing 15 reps and 3 sets with a 60-second rest in between. For more on calf strains, from what to do when it first happens to how to progress back into hopping and then running, check out the Exakt Health app. It's an app made by physical therapists who can walk you through how to best deal with common injuries so you can get back to doing what you love. Up next, we have patellofemoral pain syndrome, which most people know as runner's knee. And this causes pain over the front of your knee and around your kneecap. Some possible causes of this is a sudden increase in high impact activities such as downhill running, squats, jumping, or just long distances. Weakness in the core and hip muscles can also cause your knee to turn in more when you run, which can cause strain on this joint. So to start seeing if you're in a position where you can start working on quad strength, we're going to start off with a high wall squat. So with this squat, you don't want to squat low yet. You'll work your way there, but not right now. You definitely want to stay in the pain-free range. So all you're doing is placing a ball between your back and the wall. You can use a smaller ball than what I'm using. And then you want to stand with your feet facing forward and far enough away from the wall so your knees always remain behind your toes when you squat down. Then slowly bend your knees to do a partial squat. Again, don't squat too low, keeping your kneecaps in line with your second toes. That's important. You want to keep your knees towards your second toes. Then you're slowly returning to the upright position. Your aim is to do 15 reps, but don't force it. If you find it hard to do what you can, and you'll get stronger in the days and weeks to come. And then do 3 sets with 60 seconds of rest in between. Moving on to clams, because weak core and gluteal muscles are thought to be part of the cause of patellofemoral pain syndrome. This workout will help you develop the strength and control in your hips and pelvis. Here's a few tips for you. Bend your hips to about 60 degrees and your knees to 90 degrees. Then you want to tighten your core muscles to help stabilize your upper body and pelvis. Keep your knees bent and feet together, then lift up your top knee up and away from the bottom one so your legs open like a clamshell. You want to pause for a moment, then slowly lower your knee back down. Again, you're doing 15 reps, 3 sets, 60-second recovery in between. Bonus tip, check that your pelvis and hips do not roll backward as you lift your leg. The movement should be smooth and not jerky. Last up is the side leg lift, which is a great exercise for targeting your gluteus medius, which really helps to keep your pelvis stable as you run, as you're doing squats, walking. Very important to train as a runner. So to do this, you want to bend your bottom leg and straighten your top leg. Place your top arm's hand on the floor in front of you to stabilize you. Then tighten your core and slowly lift your top leg above your hip height. You may not be able to lift it very high at first, and that's okay. You'll get stronger as you go, like with everything. Then ensure your leg does not drift forward during the exercise. You should only be able to see the tips of your toes when you look down towards your foot. Also, don't let your hips roll back. Keep them stacked on each other. Then you want to slowly lower your leg back down. And again, this is 15 reps, 3 sets, 60-second recovery in between. Moving on to shin splints. I feel like most injuries are annoying, but shin splints seem just to be even more annoying than most injuries are. Anyway, shin splints, also known as medial tibial stress syndrome, develops when the area where the calf muscles attach to the inner part of the tibia, which is your shin bone, becomes painful and sore. It's an overuse or overload injury, which means that it develops because that part of your leg was put under more strain than what it could handle. With that said, possible causes are weakness or lack of control around the hips and pelvis, causing your leg to turn in more when you run. There could also be a weakness or lack of control in your ankle or foot, causing you to overpronate. Then it is possible that sudden changes in your training load, like increasing your running volumes too quickly or doing a lot of downhill running, can put too much stress on your shin bone. So for shin splints, we're going to start with the phase where you want to restore your full range strength. So a lot of the initial healing has already happened. You may have been able to start some light strength and calf work, and now we're really making sure you build the strength back up all the way. Okay, single leg raises. If you watch the first section on calf strains, this is a repeat exercise, but it's good for this as well, so we're ready to use it. So if you're new to the single leg raises, you want to stand on a step or thick book so that your heels are hanging over the edge. Hold on to something for stability because this is not a stability exercise, this is a strength exercise. Then lift one leg off the step so that you're standing on one leg only. Important note, your knee of your supporting leg should remain straight throughout the exercise. Lift up onto your toes, then slowly lower down until your heel drops below the level of the step. It should take you nearly 3 seconds to lower down. Then don't hang in that lowered position for too long. You want to come right back up onto your toes. Okay, the next exercise is heel taps, and we're doing the heel taps because weak core and gluteal muscles are thought to be part of the reason why you overwork the inner part of your lower leg and develop shin splints. So this workout will help you to develop the strength and control in those areas. To perform this exercise correctly, you want to lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Keep your chest and neck relaxed and your back and pelvis still throughout this exercise. That's really the key for this exercise, to keep your back and pelvis still. Okay, so then use your lower stomach muscles to flatten your lower back onto the floor. It may help to place your hands under your lower back to feel it pressing down. Then lift your right leg, bending the hip and your knee to 90 degrees with your knee directly above your hip. Now lift your left leg in the same way to join the right. Then slowly lower one leg. Touch the floor with your heel briefly and bring it back up. Repeat with the other leg. Aim to do 12 reps, alternating legs, but don't force it. If this is difficult, do as many as you can while maintaining good form. Then add more reps as you get stronger. Then you want to do 3 sets with a 60-second recovery between. It's not always good to stretch your calves right away, but what you can start doing is foam rolling your calves. So to foam roll, you want to place the calf that you want to foam roll on the roller. Use your other leg as well as your arms to support your body. Slowly foam roll your calf using long strokes. Do not roll your Achilles tendon if your Achilles is also injured. You want to spend about 2 to 3 minutes on each calf. For shin splints, you also want to do exercises that focus on foot and ankle strength. And that's because if your ankle or foot roll in excessively when you walk, run, or jump, it causes excessive loads on the muscles and tendons on the medial side. Medial side is the inner side of your shin. For some people, this can be the main reason why they develop shin splints. For a complete guide to treat any of the injuries we talked about today and many other common running injuries, please check out the Exakt Health app. The app will provide you all the information you need on how to deal with the injury from when it first happens all the way up to your return to running. As always, whether you're just trying to run 1 mile or you're ready to run 100 miles, you belong here. I'm your coach, Sandy Nightpaver, and until next time, keep running wild.